Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to War Thunder. My name is Ross, and I hope you're all having a lovely day on this lovely Wednesday morning. God, it's very sunny out there, Jesus. I'm being blinded. Today in War Thunder, I thought we were going to take a look at some of my, dare I say, favorite MBTs. The Challenger 1s, not the 2s, surprisingly. We might get to those in a later episode, but um, I think, yeah, we're gonna take a look at the Challenger ones, just because, I don't know, I like them. They're quite fun. Now, a quick history lesson, as always. So, in 1977, Iran wanted to buy some chieftain tanks, these guys. But they felt that their power was a bit lackluster. They didn't have the true engine power that they wanted to. And so the Brits devised a chieftain with a new engine, a 1,200 horsepower engine, which became the Khalid. And then after the Iranian, was it the Iranian Revolution, if I remember correctly, they weren't wanting to buy any tanks anymore just because like the entire government had been overthrown and whatnot. And so what they did, yeah, you can see the engine power there. If you specifically want to see that, you can see 1,200 and 17 if you want to be precise. And so the Brits felt kind of, lost because they were like, well, we just upgraded our main MBT and arguably, keep in mind, arguably, the best MBT in the world at that time because the T64 hadn't come out yet, had it? Oh, well, no, it would have. It would have. Irregardless. Um, and so what they looked into was like completely overhauling a new tank specifically for the British Army that had requested one when, they saw what the Khalid, or, what would become the Khalid, was able to do. And so what they eventually settled on became the Challenger 1. This thing had seriously improved armor. I believe the same gun? No, right? Does it? I forget. Uh, oh no, it is. They actually used the same gun. That's impressive because I think at the time the chieftain had one of, if not the most powerful gun in the British Army, if not most of the world. And so they took a chieftain gun and just shoved it in this thing and just said that'll do. Um, One notable thing about the Challenger that most of you should know is that the Challenger 1, if I remember correctly, has the record for the longest tank-on-tank kill in the world. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was during Operation Desert Storm, a Challenger destroyed a T-55 or T-54 at like 5.6 kilometer range, which is a distance which is yet to be beaten by anything, which is a bloody impressive shot to say the least. The challengers in War Thunder are quite a mixed bag because of their get rid of the armor real quick, because of their two-piece ammunition. You have the charges and the round itself. There's ammunition throughout the entire goddamn tank, as you can see. And a really big issue, which we will quickly go over. Yeah, sure, L23 will work here. If you shoot in the lower plate, doesn't really matter what round, it will go through and detonate the ammunition that is in front of the engine, those charges right there, which I believe are pretty much always there, which is great. Because the thing that really sucks about the Challengers is that they don't have a blow-up panel. Even this ammunition up here, that's not a blow-up panel. For those of you who don't know, this is what a blow-up panel looks like. You can see that it has like distinct armor around the ammunition. I don't think no, it doesn't say there's a blow-up panel, but that's just simply how it works. You look, and does do the shells have any armor around it? If they do, then then it has a blow-up panel. But obviously, because of that, the Challengers have ammunition all over the bloody place. And they only have a ready rack of 4 rounds. So once you fire off 4 shells in quick session, you will get a reduced reload time, which really, really sucks with these things, especially since they don't have a blow-up panel. So, you know, if you get hit, you're kind of screwed, because you have ammunition everywhere. And, you know, if you spend more than 4 rounds in quick session, you know, as I said, then you're also kind of fucked, because your reload will be reduced to very slow. Anyhow, that's enough rambling from me. God, sorry for all that. Let's go into a match and see what the challengers are capable of. And here we are in the first match. I kind of wanted to talk about some stuff real quick. Nothing serious. But, I will say, because I know a lot of people will probably comment about it, challengers, or well, British MBTs in general, benefit a lot from sitting on hills due to their very lackluster frontal armor. You know, this gargantuan lower plate, you know, that I showed that pretty much anything can punch through and, you know, insta-kill me because of the ammunition. These things are they're specifically designed to be effective on hills. And so, British MBTs, no matter which ones, all the way from the Chieftain all the way to the Challenger 3, really benefit from just sniping, pretty much. But, and you know, I know I'm not doing that, and that's what I mean. A lot of people are gonna comment about that, saying, you're not playing Challengers correctly. I am well aware that I'm not playing them correctly, but I want to try to have fun instead of being effective. Because just sitting on a hill for an entire match is not really enjoyable. Ah, really? So yeah, this is another really nice thing about the Challengers, is their amazing turret armor. It's absolutely insane. Like, the levels of armor that they have on their turret is insane. Which, like, you know, even more, it reinforces the point that I made even more, that these are designed for hills. And the gun depression is actually quite good as well. 10 degrees, yeah. It's not great, but it is above average at this BR. I will not be able to get a shot on this hill. Good God. But yeah, as I said, that's a thing with all British MBTs, that their armor is kinda mediocre on pretty much everything. Even on the Chieftain all the way to the Challenger 3, it's kinda meh. And that's because British tanks, ever since, you know, the Chieftain was built, are still kind of retain the gun tank concept, where, oh shit, I didn't even see him. Did he have a desert camo? Ah, he did, yeah, okay, that's just my bad for having bad eyesight. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, that's a thing that's kind of retained from the gun tank concept, where I'll briefly go over it. When the Brits saw I believe the T-54 was a T-55, one of the two, they realized that if this is how strongly and heavily armored a Soviet medium tank is, how heavily armored will a Soviet heavy tank be? And so, you know, they quickly scrambled to try to get a gun out as quickly as possible to just delete shit. And that's where you have shit like a lot of famous tanks, like the Conway, the FE4005, you know, the Doom Barn. You have the Conqueror, the M103, you know, the gargantuan American thing, because they follow the same principle. All these tanks with a absolutely enormous gun, pretty much the largest gun that those nations could build and fit into a tank at the time, to just knock out anything the Soviets could throw at it. And the idea with these tanks were that they were just supposed to sit on a hill, and they were just supposed to take out as many tanks as they could until they were overrun. Because the Brits knew that the Russian/Soviet doctrine at the time, which was, you know, this is a bit exaggerated, but, you know, push across the greater European plain, take Germany and France in like 2 weeks, with 100,000 tanks pushing over gigantic fields. When you're having that many tanks, you know, then, you know, you just need something that can just knock out pretty much anything. Anything the enemy can throw at you. And that's where that concept comes from. And the Brits kind of had a hard time letting that... God damn it, really? They had a hard time letting that concept go. And so that's a thing that, you know, like the Conqueror developed into the Chieftain, that developed into the Challenger 1, that developed into the Challenger 2, and then the Challenger 3. That all have this idea of pretty much quote-unquote camping. They're supposed to just sit on hills and, well, just defend, pretty much. It is a really cool concept, that, the, like, you know, quote-unquote sniper idea, in my own words, that the Brits still use. But, you know, obviously it's not something that's really, dare I say, applicable anymore, especially with, you know, ongoing conflicts that are happening right now. You know, I won't delve too much into that, because I don't care. You know, I'm not a political man. But, the ways that tanks are being used, say, you know, in the world currently, it does not really benefit challengers too much. They're not really being used in the way that they were built for. It's kind of similar to Soviet tanks, which I can quickly delve on. Who the heck? Ow! No, shit, my driver's dead. Okay. Well, that's a damn shame. Actually, let's cancel that repair. Let's see if we can't just back out of here. This is really bad. Jesus Christ. I guess I can talk about that because, you know, you guys find it interesting. But that's, like, a lot of nations have these ideas of what a tank, quote-unquote, should be that are really hard for them to let go of. Like, you know, the Brits with, you know, this sniper concept. Another big one is the Russians, which ever since the T-54 was introduced. Thought there was an enemy behind me. I've had this, you know, idea of having a tank with ridiculously strong front armor to push across the greater European plain. Because, I don't know if any of you know it, I won't delve too, like, deep into it because I don't want to ramble too much. But for those of you who know the concept of 7 days to the River Rhine, the Soviet, like, I guess you can say ideal idea of a war against NATO. For those of you who know that, you know that, you know, what I was saying, that the Soviets had the idea of just overwhelming NATO defenses by having literally 100,000 tanks push across northern Germany and France. You know, the greater European plain. Literally, pretty much blitzkrieging, you know, just like what the Germans did to the French during World War II. And that concept that also kind of struggled to die for the Soviets and then later the Russians. You look at the 54, 55, you know, they're very similar. The T-64, huge overhaul of a vehicle, but it still retains the same concept. Same with the T-64, the tank that literally changed everything. The tank that revolutionized, you know, tank warfare. That thing, even with how revolutionary it was, it still retains the same idea that it has ridiculously strong frontal armor and, you know, a, you know, kind of piss poor reverse gear for the... There's an enemy pushing over here, isn't there? For the use of, you know, pushing across greater plains, pretty much only showing their frontal armor to something. And then, you know, that's, you know, developed into the T-72, the T-90, T-80, and even technically the Armata, whereas, you know, it's still a concept, but, you know, the idea is still there, that you have this tank, which is very low profile, and, you know, ridiculously strong front armor for that idea, that concept. It's very interesting, a tank history like that, and looking at designs and looking at what nations wanted out of their tank. You know, you start looking into, say... Hi! Finally, a kill! Go on! You look into... Ow! Oh, I'm dead here. We're dead here, Chief. Thermals! Help me! Oh, really? Is that him right there? It was, yeah. Totems, okay, GG. God damn it. Wasn't anything I could do there. He blew off above me tracks. Oh, that's a bomb. But yeah, that's a thing that's quite interesting to look into. Like, during the 1960s approximately, where like with the T-55 showing up, nations handled that differently. Like I said, America and Britain were just like, we need a ridiculously heavily armored tank with a ridiculously powerful gun to be able to knock out literally anything the Soviets can throw at us. Because, as I said, they saw the T-55 and said, if this is a Soviet medium tank, what the hell does a Soviet heavy tank look like? It's going to have like meters worth of armor. Obviously, that's a gross generalization, but you get the idea. But some nations, like France and Germany, were thought that if a Soviet medium tank is has this powerful of a gun, there's probably no point in even putting like ridiculous amounts of armor on our tanks and making them super expensive. Why not just make cheap tanks with really good guns so they can fight pretty much no matter what, instead of just having this ridiculously expensive vehicle that can just as easily be destroyed as a lightly armored one. All that matters is cost. And so, the French developed the AMX-30 program, and the Germans the Leopard program. Well, specifically the Leopard 1, because the Leopard 2 is, a completely different idea and doctrine. But for those of you who are playing War Thunder, that's why. Some of you are playing Germany and being like, God, why do the Leopard 1s have so little armor? My Leopard A1A1 or my Leopard 1 it just struggles so much. I get one-tapped by everything. Well, that's why. Because the Germans at the time didn't think that armor was important. They thought, well, we need speed and we need a good gun. And so they looked to the Brits, for the L7, the 105. Glorious thing. And, the speed. And voila. There came the Leopard program. I deeply apologize for A, just rambling on so long, but also for perhaps not doing the best in these matches. This is not going too well. But yeah, I apologize for that, for just rambling on so long. But like, I find it interesting. I'm not just playing War Thunder for the sake of like getting views and being famous. I care about giving out information, sharing with the world, sharing my knowledge. And it's very fun. Because obviously, okay. You know what? No. I'll just pause there. I'm not gonna go on. I've rambled long enough. Let's go into another match and let's hope for some better matches. But yeah, so sorry again for rambling on about things like that. I just find it so interesting. And like with, me not being the most sane person ever, I can't really stop talking. Because, I find it so interesting. And, well, as I said, I love to share information and, let people into the knowledge that I have about certain things. So, I find it really interesting. I can talk about tanks all day. Because, there's just so much. There's the history about what tanks, have been used for historically, what the idea of a tank was, going all the way back to World War I, being pretty much infantry support. God, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again! Oh, I need to stop myself. I can't keep doing this. Eventually, I'm just gonna bore people. People are gonna get annoyed with me. You're probably annoyed with me already. You're probably clicked off, being like, God, can this guy just stop fucking yapping? I can't help it. Ooh, we might get some nice side shots on people here. Is you donk? That's a fuel tank. I'm blind. Jesus Christ, I'm blind. There are some tanks right behind there. So we might... let's actually approach up to these concrete blocks over here. See if we can't get some side shots on people. But yeah, this is another thing that, this is kind of what I mean. I'm not playing challengers correctly, and I'm well aware of that. In both of these matches I've played them bloody terribly. But I'm just trying to have fun. I'm not particularly showing what these vehicles can do, or like how to play them properly. It's not like a guide, and that's not really what I intend with these videos I make. Saw a muzzle flash, thought it was a tank there. God damn it. Yeah, look at that quick reload though, it's very nice. Leo? Oh, look at that, the 989. Oh, that's such a cool tank. I love the 989 so much, specifically that variant. Like most T-72s I do like, they're fun little vehicles to play, but specifically that version is my favorite. Whoa! Where did that come from? Ooh, ow! Am I blind? That's not a tank. Well, it's a burning tank. That's not one either. What the hell happened? Am I like blind? Am I stupid? Probably. Ah well. Oh Christ. That scared me. It was like dust in the wind. Yeah, that. You see these little... What even is that? Like papers? Something. Ow. God, again! Oh my god, there's a tank right there. You little cheeky bastard, I can't do anything. You know what? Hang on. Come here. I'ma shoot you. Ah, fuck. Shit. God damn it. I realized way too late that I could have turned the vehicle there. Ah, well. Yeah, these challengers are honestly not that... They're not going that well, sadly. People in the comments being like, hey, skill issue. Probably so. It probably is a skill issue. I haven't played the British MPTs in a long time, primarily because I don't really enjoy them that much. Oh god. Seriously? A P-51 managed to sneak past our lines. Do we not have any AA up? We have a Strela, come on. Alright, here we go, here we have a target. Let's see if we can't get him then. Sprut is pushing with me. He's dead. God damn it. I never looked in the kill feed to see if that wolf pack died. He probably didn't. I don't think he did. No, that's his marker up there, isn't it? I can guarantee it. Where are you? I'm trying to see. Am I stupid? Thermals, help me. I don't see him. Weird. Is that the Sprut firing? Yep. Well, okay, they traded. The Sprut and the Wolfpack traded. Nice. Perfect stuff. Let's see if we can actually get something done. Good God. I do apologize for this being quite the boring match so far. Well, a boring video, like overall. We haven't really done that much, and I do apologize for that. I think it may be due to me just being like forgetting a lot of the knowledge and skill I had with the challengers. So I do apologize for that. I know that a lot of people are going to give me so much shit for playing them so incorrectly, but... Okay, that was our Sprut. The Ravetsa, yeah, that's it. Go on. That's the designation for the 2S38. I remember that. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Boop. Begleit. Yeah. One thing... yes, I can delve on that as well. just to fill a dead air. One thing that I do really like about British tanks is their amazing guns. I know a lot of people have varying opinions on all this, but for me personally, British MBT guns, like from the Chieftain all the way to the Challenger 3, have, in my opinion, the best guns in the game. Now, I'm well aware that that's a very bold statement. They do not have the largest MBT caliber, like, the Object 292 or the Soviet MBTs, having 125s. They don't have the ridiculous pen of the Leopard 2A6, the second best penning tank in the bloody game. And technically the best that you can get normally. The 292 was an event vehicle. But, for me personally, British guns, all the way from, the Chieftain using just standard L15, to the Mark 10 using L23, these things, L23A1, L26, so on and so forth, are just so good that no matter what BR British MBT sit at, as I said, from the Chieftain to the Challenger 3, they always have such good shells. Now sure, the British shells may not have the best pen ever, but I always feel like they have really good spalling. Like, no matter what I'm playing, as I said, I'm just reading myself, but whether or not I'm playing a Chieftain, Challenger 1, Challenger 2, I always feel confident that when I press left click, no matter what target I'm shooting at, I feel very confident that that shell is going to one-shot the target. Because of just the amazing shrapnel and post-pen damage that British APFSDS has. Maybe that's just me, but I do very much I really like these guns a lot. Well, specifically the shells. The shells are amazing on these things. Objective achieved, hell yeah! But yeah, that just about does it. Sorry for this just being Ross talking 24/7 video. But, I had a lot on my mind, and, as I said, I can't stop myself when I start talking about tanks. I need someone to literally tell me to stop. I can't stop myself. But anyhow, I hope you all found this at least somewhat interesting. Mainly just me talking about tanks. The gameplay, yeah, even I say that was not particularly good. We probably won't play the Challenger 2s thing, because I don't want to waste you guys' time by just playing vehicles that I'm not really good with. But anyhow, that just about does it for this episode. On Friday, we're playing... Friday? God. On Friday, we're finally playing U-Boat again. Tomorrow is when... was it tomorrow? I think it was tomorrow. Or was it the second? Oh god, I don't remember. But on Friday, we're uploading U-Boat again. Then we're, completely restarting that campaign. That shit's gonna be awesome to play. And we're gonna be... primarily playing that and Redcon and maybe some things in between there on the channel. But anyhow, that just about does it for this episode of War Thunder. If you enjoy the kind of content that I make, then do be sure to leave a like or a comment to show your support. And if you want to go that extra mile, then do be sure to subscribe, because it does help me out a lot. But until Friday, I'll see you all then. Bye bye!